enter a plea of guilty or nolo. You may wish to enter a plea of not guilty, and while you prepare for trial, you can also look up that information.
The hearing opens in typical fashion as the judge explains the options for pleas, but things derail almost immediately when DeMarcus Cantrell Brown steps forward. Except he insists is actually DeMarcus Bay, surety for the entity known as DeMarcus Cantrell Brown. The judge tries to confirm if he has counsel, only for him to request a 30-day delay so he can seek counsel, even though he clearly has no one lined up. From the start, it's obvious this is heading straight into sovereign citizen fantasy land.
DeMarcus Cantrell Brown.
Your Honor, we were representing him, but we are going to be submitting a withdrawal to you. You should have it shortly.
All right, Mr. Brown, are you represented by somebody else?
Yeah. For the record, I am DeMarcus Bay, the implied surety for DeMarcus Cantrell Brown. And I would like to file a motion in the court for additional 30 days for me to seek counsel.
Okay, so Mr. Bay,
Yes.
aka Marcus Cantrell Brown, so you're seeking a continuance to get new counsel?
Yes.
Okay, do you have someone in mind, sir?
I not right now. I'm seeking.
The judge, being patient, grants a continuance until January 5th, but stresses he must have a real attorney by then. Instead of simply saying okay, he launches into sovereign citizen legal mythology, claiming he filed affidavits of truth, and since they weren't rebutted, they magically win the case. The judge shuts that down immediately, explaining that this is court, not Facebook, and affidavits don't substitute for actual testimony. It's the first major crack in his legal cosplay.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to give you a continuance for 30 days, or I'm sorry, until January 5th. But by that time, you need to have counsel on board when they come back so that they can talk to the state to determine if there's anything they can work out on your case, or if they need to get all of the information necessary for a trial, if that's what you choose to do. So by January 5th, I will expect that you will have counsel.
Well, I have paperwork on the docket that haven't been rebutted. I have affidavits of truth that haven't been rebutted.
Okay, sir, we don't do affidavits. People have to appear in person because there's a confrontation clause in the United States Constitution that says witnesses, you have the right to confront witnesses in person. So we don't do affidavits, okay? If you have witnesses that are going to present testimony or evidence on your behalf, then you have to have them come to court and be sworn in and testify at that time, okay? So we're not doing any dismissing and all of that stuff. No, sir. When you get your counsel, they'll be able to discuss it with the state, and then y'all can present whatever to the court.
And the accusing deputy must be present too.
DeMarcus tries to insist the deputy must be present, that affidavits force dismissals, and that he can challenge jurisdiction. The judge calmly explains how subpoenas work, how the state chooses its witnesses, and how jurisdiction is determined by the location of the offense, not the defendant's opinion. She reminds him that the internet is not a law school and decides it's time for the world's gentlest reality check.
So the people always say that, but here's the thing. The state gets to choose whatever witnesses they wish to bring, just like your side gets to choose whatever witnesses you wish to bring. You can't rely on them to bring the person that you want. So if you want to subpoena someone to appear for trial, then you need to subpoena them. You cannot rely on the state to bring your witness. Okay?
Okay. I got you. So,
all right. Anything else?
And jurisdiction can be challenged at any time, right?
No, sir. Jurisdiction rests with this court because this is where the locus of the incident is.
Well,
Mr. Bay, let me just explain something to you.
Court cannot confer jurisdiction.
Mr. Bay, listen to me.
Okay.
I went to school for 3 years for this. That's full time. If I had gone part time, it would have been 4 or 5 years. And I have been working since, oh Lord, I ain't gonna give my age, but I've been a lawyer and a judge for quite some time. I've been a judge for 10 years as of this year. A lot of times people come before me because they've learned stuff from other people, or they've gone online, or they've read it themselves. But I tell you, it doesn't work the way you think it works. And so there's a set of statutes, cases, procedures, all of those things that we have to learn. In fact, let me show you something.
Well, how do you have?
Wait. You see this book?
In the most iconic moment of the hearing, the judge literally pulls out a giant law book, explaining that it represents only 1 year of Georgia's statutes and case law she must know. She makes it clear that real law isn't built from YouTube videos, TikTok gurus, or Black's Law Dictionary. With a full bookshelf of legal volumes behind her, she tells him flat out that he is wrong, and everything he thinks he knows simply does not apply in a real court.
This is just this year's edition of all the stuff that I have to be able to find to figure out what's going on in your case. This is just this year's edition. And I got a book like this that includes evidence and procedure. I got a whole wall of books. So when you come in here challenging jurisdiction and all of this stuff people have taught you, it's not books.
Can I show you my Black Law Dictionary?
No, sir. Because Black's Law, that's a dictionary. That's not the full case. You know, you come in with all of these ideas about how you think the law works, but every lawyer in here has done at least 3 years of law school and trainings, trials, all of those things. So you're not going to change the way we do things. So the best thing to do is to get an attorney who can talk to the state about your case, and then we can get this resolved. Your case is pretty simple. You got traffic.
Still refusing to accept reality, DeMarcus demands she prove subject matter and personal jurisdiction. She informs him bluntly that she doesn't need to prove anything to him. She's literally wearing the robe and assigned to the case. He tries to differentiate public vs private, claims U.S. codes override Georgia law, and the judge finally tells him the truth. He doesn't understand the law he's quoting, and traffic laws in Georgia are governed by Georgia's own code, not federal statutes.
I still want you to prove on the record that you have subject matter jurisdiction, personal jurisdiction.
I'm not proving anything on the record, sir. I wear the robe. They put me in this position. I've been here 10 years. If I didn't have subject matter jurisdiction, I wouldn't be here.
So
all right?
It's not a difference between public and private for the record. There's no difference.
Sir, get an attorney.
Okay, all right. January 5th.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And Mr. Bay / Brown, you've indicated that you wish to have an attorney, so I'm going to rely on the fact that you're going to have an attorney. Don't come back here with the same stuff, and I already told you it's not going to work.
So you're telling me United States codes don't work?
No, I'm telling you, you don't know them.
Got him.
So first of all, right here. The United States codes don't work in Georgia because Georgia has its own code, OCGA.
So the meaning of driver is different in Georgia.
Yes, sir.
But according to 49,
Mr. Bay, I'm not doing this with you. Get an attorney.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. You're free to go. We'll see you on January 5th at 11 a.m.
All right, so that's the end of his first appearance. Now let's get to the spicy bits, where he brings on his attorney, who also happens to be an attorney general. And oh yeah, his lawyer also thought it was a good idea to bring a gun and sword into the Zoom court hearing. Let's call this segment How a Not Attorney Fucked His Not Client's Case Up.
So, DeMarcus Contrell Brown.
I have interest in that matter. Is the defendant in error free to go?
Is the who, what?
Is the defendant in error free to go?
No.
Well, let the record show the defendant in error is ordered to state and participate.
The first hearing ends with the judge telling him to return with a real lawyer and to stop bringing internet-taught nonsense to her courtroom. He leaves still demanding she prove jurisdiction, completely missing the point. The narrator cuts in with commentary on how sovereign citizens willingly turn simple traffic tickets into massive legal disasters, all to avoid paying $100-something in fees. And the best part, things are about to get way worse for DeMarcus in round 2.
Okay, who is the defendant in error? That's a new one for me.
The all cap name is trust that I am a beneficiary of. My name is not spelled in all capital letters. I have a court order decree saying that.
Okay, Mr. Bay. Mr. Bay, do you have an attorney representing you, sir?
Attorney General, my Attorney General is online. You may speak to me, sir.
Is the Attorney General, Mr. Bay, hold on. Let me ask my question before you tell me something crazy. Is the Attorney General a member of the State Bar of Georgia?
I'm a non-state actor. I'm a foreign national. Matter of fact, I filed a
Sir,
notice of
Mr.
acceptance
Bay.
of your oath of office.
Mr. Bay, I don't care if you were Alexander Putin, the premier of Russia. If you are in Georgia and you're represented by an attorney, that attorney would have to be a member of the State Bar of Georgia. Foreign national or not. Just as if you went to another country and you had an attorney represent you, that attorney would have to meet the requirements of that country and of that state. Okay, Mr. Attorney, Mr. Bay, hush. Mr. Attorney General.
I'm trying to set a record.
Mr. Bay, Mr. Attorney General, are you a member of the State Bar of Georgia? You want to unmute for me?
Speak, bro.
For the second hearing, DeMarcus returns, not with an actual attorney, but with a man he introduces as his attorney general. The moment this character opens his mouth, it becomes obvious he is neither an attorney nor a general, just another sovereign citizen with props. He immediately declares the defendant in error is free to go, and the judge quickly reels the hearing back under control. The judge asks a simple question. Is this man licensed to practice law in Georgia? Spoiler. He absolutely is not.
A member of a foreign state corporation, basically doing business in Georgia. So
Okay,
basically,
sir, that's not what I asked you. No, sir.
I get what you're saying,
No, sir.
man.
No, and I get what you're saying, but we're not doing that because that's not how we operate. Those are not the laws under which I am required to conduct court. So we either gonna do it my way or we're gonna put you on the calendar.
We understand the rules of the court. I got you.
Okay. Are you a member of the State Bar of Georgia?
No, I'm not a member of the Bar of Georgia.
Okay,
what I'm trying to
realize
you need to take consideration on that matter on how he's doing business in Georgia.
He can represent himself, or he can be represented by a member of the State Bar of Georgia, but he cannot have you represent him or purport to represent him. Okay, that's not going to work. All right. So, Mr. Bay, do you wish to choose someone who is a member of the State Bar of Georgia to represent you, or do you wish to represent yourself?
I invoke my right to remain silent as the beneficiary of Demarcus Cottrell Brown estate.
Okay, sir. So, sir, you're invoking your right to remain silent, which means that you do not wish to enter a plea that
I plead to be released.
That would resolve your case today. As such, the court is going to enter a plea of not guilty for you.
The fake attorney begins rambling about foreign state corporations, commercial entities, and fictional jurisdictions. Classic sovereign citizen jargon. He tries to argue that DeMarcus doesn't need a licensed attorney because he's not part of Georgia's corporate structure. The judge has zero patience left and explains again that in Georgia, any attorney must be a member of the Georgia Bar, period. His sword, gun, and cosplay credentials don't mean a thing in court.
USC 454, judge practicing law from the bench.
And put you on a trial court, on a trial calendar so that your case may be heard at trial. All right, sir. Thank you. You'll get notice in the mail. If anything changes about your changes about your address, then you can go ahead and let us know by coming in.
I demand evidence hearing.
You will have that at the time of the trial,
evidence hearing.
You're not going to have an evidence hearing today because that's not what we're here for. This is
dishonorable. I got your oath, Tammy Long. Hey.
So, Mr. Bay, I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. You'll have a trial at which time you can have an evidence hearing. You'll get notice in the mail.
In violation of Article 6, Section 2 of the Constitution.
Your notice in the mail, then you can appear for hearing with whatever evidence that you wish to present. Although you are not required to present any evidence or testimony because the state has the burden of proving the case against you. Thank you, Mr. Brown. You're free to go at this.
Cornered. DeMarcus announces he is invoking his right to remain silent as the beneficiary of the estate. The judge, unfazed, treats it exactly as the law requires. She enters a plea of not guilty on his behalf and sets him for trial. When he demands an evidence hearing, she explains, for the third time, that today is not that type of hearing, and all evidence issues will be addressed at trial. She ends the hearing as he continues objecting pointlessly in the background. Clip 10. The hearing ends with his objections being ignored, his fake lawyer dismissed, and a not guilty plea entered against his will, all because he refused to follow normal procedure. The narrator closes the video pointing out the disaster he created for himself, promising to follow future court dates as this sovereign citizen saga inevitably spirals further. Viewers are invited to like, dislike, comment, and subscribe, ending the video with a signature sign-off.